When you're walking, when you're
Oh,
walking, you're doing stretching. So when we're up and when we're getting out of bed, we're doing some stretching, being mindful of our bodies. I just definitely want to remind you guys to be more mindful of when you get up in the morning and just doing some little stretches. These stretches can be done in 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Take some of the postures that you remember tomorrow morning and try to focus on doing those again. Um, Now, are there any ladies who practice yoga on a daily? Like, are there any ladies in the group? You can put it in the chat if you have practiced yoga before, if it's been a while, if you have props or modifications that you need assistance with, just let me know in the chat. I do have some props here that I'm going to show you guys. This is a yoga block. They come in many different sizes. This will help you underneath your hands, underneath your legs, in certain postures that I'll show you. I'll grab the block and I'll show you how to use. It's been a while. Yeah, I think sometimes we kind of forget to jump back into it, but we're everything that we do is a little bit a part of yoga, whether we're just taking some deep breaths. I did practice yoga and I stopped a year ago because I had surgery. Okay, yeah, well this would be a good time for you to start getting back into that rhythm of everything, making your body feel good, making our muscles and joints feel good. That's the most important thing about the stretchings. We don't want to get our muscles stuck in one certain place and then we feel that tightness when we start to go about our day, when we go for a short walk, our calves or thighs start to give out on us. And it's like we just need to do a little bit more stretching. We can actually help ourselves grow a little bit taller as well. So the block will assist you with your hands. Like I have my hand on the block this way. Sometimes people hold it this way, but this will assist us in certain postures. Now, this is very helpful to have. I know you can get these from like a store called Five Below. I know they have that here in Michigan. Marshalls, TJ Maxx. This I highly recommend if you're a beginner or just getting back into the practice to have some props, a block. Now, this mat is a knee mat or a palm mat. It actually has some yoga postures on there as well. But this mat you can use underneath your hands or underneath your knees in certain postures. That's just going to give you extra comfort because my yoga mat is kind of thick, but sometimes they have some that are really thin that kind of hurts their knees or if you have some joint issues. You can also use a bolster. I'm sitting on a bolster. I don't know if you guys can see my bolster. I'm sitting on a bolster. I use this meditation pillow for certain poses when I'm sitting or when I'm in a long meditation for like 30 minutes or an hour. It's comfortable to sit in on the bolster. So, does anyone have any questions about the props? Any of the props? Will anyone be using any props in their practice today? I want to make sure I am showing you guys how to modify. Okay, yeah, if no one has props, I'll show you how to modify the props using the props. My bolster pillow, I ordered that offline. You can get those off Amazon. I have a few different ones around the house in certain areas that I sit. A lot of things I order offline on Amazon. This specific one that I have I ordered from a friend of mine, S Meditation. I ordered this from her. She does meditation and sound bowls. So I got this at one of her events. And it's really comfortable. This one has just a lot of cotton inside of it. I have some that has beans in it. Those ones are really comfortable. So just get one that's going to be comfortable for you to sit on for a long time. Um, So we are going to get started in our yoga practice. I'm going to move back so you guys can see me. And we are going to start off in child's pose. So child's pose, you're just taking your knees out as wide as the mat, and you're going to extend your arms forward and bring your forehead down to the mat. So in that posture, I want you to just take some deep breaths. You're going to take those breaths in through your nose. You're going to hold them in your belly for 3 seconds or 5 seconds, and then you can release it back out through the nose. And go ahead and set your attention while you're on the mat, something you want to focus on today or a goal you want to focus on for the week. And just go ahead and get settled in here. Go ahead and breathe. Don't forget to breathe. I'm going to keep reminding you guys there's a practice to breathe because sometimes we forget. And we're just going to take 2 more rounds of breath here. And on the next inhale, we're going to come up into a tabletop. Tabletop posture, we're going to place our knees underneath our hips, keep them aligned, and we're going to have our fingers wide on the mat and putting the weight in our palms. We don't want to put the weight in our fingertips. Now, this is when I would use my cushion for my knees, place under my knees in this posture, making sure our backs are flat. We're going to inhale up, lift the chest, lift our gaze, drop the belly, hold that breath in for 3 seconds. Exhale, you're going to round the spine like if you were laying on a ball. Go ahead and round the spine. Inhale, back up. Drop the shoulders back, lift the gaze. Go ahead and exhale, release that. And just do a couple cat-cow stretches on your own. That way you can kind of get into the rhythm, kind of feel what your body likes. If you need to move your hands a little bit, shift, get those fingers spread wide. Just do what feels comfortable for you. Take those deep stretches, using the breath, flow with the breath. You can put some movement in the hips, shake hips from side to side. And when you go into your last cat stretch, come back and meet me in a tabletop. Hands underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. From here, we're going to go into our downward facing dog. We're going to tuck our toes here, press into our hands, lift our hips up into the air. Take a nice deep breath here. You can bend your knee in this posture to take the weight off of your hands a little bit, your palms. Bend your knees here. Taking your gaze not between the hands, but just straight down. Nice deep breaths in this posture. You can walk your calves out. Nice, good calf stretch. Remembering to breathe. And from here, we're going to lift our left leg up, toes towards the sky. And we're going to step our hand through our hands. Step our foot through to our hands, and we're going to come into a warrior two. Our left knee should be bent, aligned with the ankle. Our right leg should be straight, toes parallel to the right side of the mat. And arms are going to be up and out, front to back, palms facing up. You want to engage the core here. It's going to help you with your balance. So engage your core, make sure you're breathing and staying into this warrior. You're going to take your gaze past your fingertips. And we're going to do 5 rounds of breath here. And go ahead and take the right palm down the right calf, bringing the left hand overhead for a nice side body stretch on the left. And come back into the warrior two. And from here, we're just going to Straighten out our left leg and pivot over to our right to go into our warrior on the right. So now the right leg is facing, toes are facing straight, left toes are facing parallel. Slight bend in the knee, not taking it over the ankle. Bringing our hands up again, engaging our core, and do 5 rounds of breath here. And go ahead and bring the left hand down the left leg, right hand overhead, stretch. Remembering to breathe. Go ahead and exhale, cartwheel both hands down to the mat. Make sure you're gripping that mat. Step that right foot back. You're going to end up back in a downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk the legs out here. Take a bend in the knee. And go ahead and walk your feet up to meet your hands. And you're going to be in a forward fold. So in this forward fold, you would have your block placed underneath your hands. You can extend your arms out, resting your chest on your thighs, just to make this posture more comfortable. So there's many ways to use your block in this posture. Go ahead and inhale, halfway rise, placing the hands on the shins. And you would just extend your block up. Breathe here. And exhale, forward fold again. This time we're going to walk our fingertips over towards the left, just to meet with the side of our foot. Nice deep breaths here. If you're having any pain in the knee, go ahead. You can put a slight bend in your knee. You don't want to overstretch. And go ahead on the exhale, bring it back to center. And on the next inhale, go ahead and take it over towards the right. Walk those fingertips over slowly. Go ahead and come back to center. Here we're going to roll ourselves up vertebrae by vertebrae, and then lastly with our crown, bringing our hands out to the side for mountain pose. Here we want to make sure our heels are underneath our hips. We want to make sure our shoulders are relaxed, our chest is relaxed, and relaxing the jaw. You can place your tongue at the roof of your mouth, and it'll help your jaw, help you to relax your jaw. So standing here, I just want you guys to just take a few deep breaths here. Hold those breaths in for 3 to 5 seconds. Focus back on the intention you set in the beginning of the practice. And we'll do 5 rounds of breath here. You can place a slight bend in the knee if you need to. On the next inhale, we're going to raise our arms up overhead and just take a nice deep breath with our fingertips stretching towards the sky. Go ahead and take the right fingertips and wrap them around the left wrist. And we're just going to pull ourselves over slightly towards the right, get a nice side body stretch. If it feels too tight, just go ahead and lift back up just a little bit. You don't want to overextend here and have any pain. If you feel any pain or tension anywhere, just go ahead and send that breath there, massage it out. Nice big belly breaths here. And then come back to center and do the same thing with the left. Wrap it around the right wrist, take it over towards the left. Whatever we do on our right side, we do on our left. We want to make sure both sides of the body is feeling good, stretching out each area equally, and using our breath and being mindful of how our body feels. And go ahead and come back to center, bring the arms down, and go ahead and shake it out. And once you do that, just come back to your mat, placing your heels underneath your hips, keeping those aligned. We're gonna on the next breath, you're gonna extend the arms up again, and you're gonna exhale. You're gonna forward fold over, and you're just gonna walk your hands to the top of the mat and land back into the downward facing dog position. And go ahead and walk the dog out. Take 3 breaths here. And then we're going to lower the knees down first. Come back onto our heels and extend ourselves out for that child's pose again. Just 2 breaths here in this child's pose. Taking your forehead down to the mat, extending the arms out in front of you. This is a resting pose. You can always come to this pose and practice when you are feeling tired or if some muscles are getting achy. This is a pose you can come in, take some breaths, and just kind of relax here. And go ahead and walk the fingertips back with the gaze. And we're going to come on to our bottoms, extending our legs out in front of us, toes facing towards the sky. Once you get aligned here, making sure your shoulders are relaxed, toes are facing up towards the sky, heels align with the hips. Go ahead and extend the arms up on the next breath. And you're going to exhale, you're going to fold over, reaching towards the toes. If you want to reach the toes, go ahead and take a bend in the knee, and you can place your fingertips on your toes and walk your shoulders out. So that's an option. Nice deep breaths here. Remember holding the breath in for 3 seconds before you exhale it, sending it out of the nose or out of the mouth. Go ahead and inhale, rise back up. Exhale, lower the palms down. Here we're going to place our right hand on the floor next to us, and then we're just going to bend and extend the left hand overhead, taking it over towards the right. And go ahead and bring the left hand down to the floor, extend the right palm overhead. Last breath. Go ahead and bring your toes and your heels together. Toes and heels together. Now, in this posture, we would place the blocks underneath both of our knees. This will help. If there's any discomfort in that area, you just place the blocks right under both of the knees. Sitting up nice and straight, relaxing the shoulders. We're going to take our fingertips and we're going to inhale Walk them out in front of us. Get a nice stretch. You might feel some tightness in your thigh. Once you feel the tightness in the thigh, start to be mindful of how far you're going down and if it's starting to really pull and bring some pain in that area. You don't want to overextend. So just go ahead and back it up just a little bit when you're comfortable and just sit there and just breathe. We're going to do 4 rounds of breath here. And go ahead on the exhale, walk your fingertips back to center. Crisscross. Go ahead and crisscross your legs now. We're going to take our left palm and place it on our right knee. And we're going to take our right palm and extend it behind us, kickstand it, and just put a slight bend in the elbow if you need to, and extend the arm out as far as you need to, what's comfortable for you. We're just going to take a side body stretch, taking our gaze right before the shoulder. Find something to stare at right before the shoulder, but not to the shoulder and not past the shoulder. Let's take some couple few deep breaths here. And go ahead and exhale, release that. Bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand kickstand it behind us, same thing. Taking the gaze right before the shoulder. And go ahead and release and come back to center. I'm going to have you lay flat on your backs, and we're going to keep our knees bent, making sure our heels are aligned with our hips. Go ahead and adjust yourself here. Get comfortable. Feet are flat on the floor. And you're just going to take both your knees and you're going to take them over towards your right side. You can place a block underneath your knees to give it more comfort. You can place your right hand on top of your knees, extend the left arm out, and taking your gaze over towards the left as well. Here. You're going to come back to center with those knees. And on the next inhale, go ahead and lower the knees down towards the left. Then the block on the next side, extending the right palm out. You can have both palms out if you don't have that left palm on the knees. Taking the gaze over towards the right. 5 rounds of breath here. On the next breath, come back to center, bringing the knees back up, and just windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Nice deep breaths here. And bring the knees into your chest and give them a nice squeeze. And go ahead and place the feet back on the floor. Here we're going to go into a candlestick. We're just going to extend the legs up, both legs up, toes towards the sky. Extending here. Once you get there, take 2 breaths, and then we're going to lower the right leg down. We're going to take the ankle just behind the left knee. And if it feels comfortable for you, you can push out on that right knee and pull back a little on your left thigh. So 2 ways you can find some comfort there. So the right knee or the right ankle is lower than the left knee, and you're pushing out on the right knee and you're pulling in on the left thigh. So just stay here for a moment and see what feels comfortable for the body. Listen to what the body is telling you. Take nice deep breaths here. And go ahead and release both feet back down to the floor. Nice deep breath here. You're going to take that left ankle, place it over the right knee, and extend the right toes back up towards the sky. So that's another variation to get you into that posture. Pulling back on the right thigh, or pushing out on the left knee. Take a couple rounds of breath here, see what feels comfortable. And go ahead and release both feet down towards the mat. And we're going to go into our final resting pose, Shavasana. Go ahead and extend the legs out in front of you. Lay the hands, palms facing up. And just get comfortable here. Just let your legs fall where they want to go. Get comfortable here. We'll be here for about a minute or two. And just slow your breath down here and just breathe normal. Coming back to your intention. Go ahead and start to shake your head from side to side, left to right, slowly. Wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. And on the inhale, go ahead and extend the arms overhead, pointing the toes out. Nice, good morning stretch. Rolling over to the left or to the right to make our way back into seated posture. Crossing the legs, relaxing the shoulders. Once we all get here, we're going to inhale, raise the palms overhead. Nice deep breath. We're going to bring our palms together. And go ahead and exhale. Bring your palms down to heart center. And just take a few moments of breath right here. I want to thank you, ladies, for joining me in practice this morning. Please be mindful of your body, your breath, and your movement going about the day and every day. And I hope to see you guys on the mat again soon. Namaste.